Okay, remember when you are watching these videos, you need to make sure to have your notes, okay? Es importante que tú tienes tus notas. And you need to write and you need to pause the video when you are taking your notes. Recuerdas que tú necesitas pausar el video cuando tú estás escribiendo tus notas, okay? So you should be opened up to 7.5. The lunch, okay? Tú necesitas mirar a 7:05 y nosotros vamos a buscar por lunch, okay? In inglés, lunch. So we are going to connect to what we did yesterday, and we are going to connect to how to change fractions and decimals, okay? Nosotros vamos a cambiar entre fracciones y decimales. For this video, I will be speaking in Spanish and English, so listen for cognates and make sure to pause and rewind, okay? Y entonces yo voy a hablar en inglés y en español. Es importante que tú estás escuchando por cognados, okay? Y es importante que tú puedes mirar el video otra vez y tú puedes pausar el video y entonces tú puedes, cuando tú no entiendes, tú puedes mirar otra vez, okay? So let's go ahead and look at the lunch. It says use, necesitas usar, at least one decimal, un decimal, and una fracción to represent the quantity shown in 4 different ways. Okay, tú necesitas escribir en 4 diferentes maneras. You need to write this number in 4 different ways. So let's go ahead and I want you to try that. So right now I have it in word form. Este es una forma de una palabra. Okay, so it says 4 hundredths. So remember from when we were talking about place value, hundredths, I have the decimal and 2 places. Okay, decimal, 2 places. Hundredths, centésimas. Okay, so I have 4 hundredths, 4 centésimas, and I want this as a decimal, un decimal, and a fraction, una fracción. Okay, I'm going to start with the decimal. Yo voy a empezar con la decimal. So when I look, I see that hundredths is right here, or centésimas, 0.12. So there's 2 places after, 2 lugares después de punto decimal. Okay, so I'm going to put a point, and I'm going to put like this, because this is hundredths or centésimas, and I'm going to write the 4. In this space, en este espacio, yo voy a escribir 0. I'm going to write 0. Okay, so there's 1. So I've got 1. But I need to have 4. Necesito tener 4 diferentes maneras. So I need fractions. So I'm going to start with the easiest fraction, 4 hundredths. So I hear 4 hundredths. There's another one. Okay, so now I have 2. I need 2 more. Okay, so I have 4 hundredths. Well, I see I can reduce. Okay, so if I have 4 hundredths, I'm going to divide it by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50. There's another one. So I have 2 50ths. And I need 1 more. I see I can divide this again by 2. Puedo dividir este entre 2 partes. Y yo tengo lo siento. Sorry, 1 over 25. Okay, there's another one. I could multiply and could have multiplied by 2. Yo puedo multiplicar por 2. Here's another one. So now I have 4 different, 4 diferentes maneras that I could write this. Que yo puedo escribir esto. Okay? So that's just getting me thinking about fractions, decimals, and words. Okay? Now what we're going to do today is we are going to be switching between fractions and decimals. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Remember, when I say to pause, recuerdas, cuando yo estoy diciéndote que tú necesitas pausar, you need to stop it, necesitas parar, necesitas tratar, you need to try, tratarlo, you need to try it, then you can press play. Y entonces tú puedes empujar luego, okay? So let's look at this. It says you can use what you know about reading and writing decimals in word form to write fractions, okay? So just like we did up here, we are going to use what we know about reading and writing decimals to make them into fractions, okay? Y entonces yo estaba leyéndolo y entonces yo puedo escribir fracciones, okay? Y entonces nosotros vamos a tratar esto. Okay, so we're going to try this. Let's look at 0.6. The word form of 0.6, we wouldn't say 0.6, 0.6. We would say 0 and 0.6 ones. I'm going to finish our chart. So let's go ahead and try to finish our chart. So I have 10 thousandths, so that means that this one is simply thousandths. Think what this one would be. So see if you can fill these out on your own. Go ahead and pause. Necesitas pasarlo. Y tú puedes escribir en estos. Okay, you're going to write in these. Okay, so go ahead, take this time to write those in. And then when you're done, press play and see if you got it right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. So make sure it's already written in. Thousandths. Then next to that, I have hundredths. Sorry, this is very messy. And then tenths. And this would be my decimal. Okay, if I'm writing them in Spanish, remember you can use all of your resources. When I'm using this, I could say tenths, décimas, hundredths, centésimas, thousandths, milésimas, 10 thousandths, 10 milésimas, 100 thousandths, 100 milésimas. Okay, so make sure that you've got those written in. So now it says 6 tenths. So what I have is this, 0.6. What I hear is 6 tenths. So I have 6 over 10, 6 tenths. Then I can reduce, I can divide them both by 2, and that gives me 3/5. Let's look at the next one. Now it says the word form of 24 hundredths. So let's start with this. I have 20.24, but I don't read it 0.24. That's not the right way, okay? So now I'm going to write it on my place value chart, and I see that I have 2, 4. The 4 is in the hundredths, okay? Yo tengo 24 centésimas, so I have 24 hundredths, so I hear 24, and I hear hundredths. And I'm going to look for something I can divide, a number I can divide both of these by, okay? Entonces yo voy a buscar los números y yo necesito pensar sobre un número que yo puedo dividir los números entre, okay? So I'm going to start with 4. And that gave me 6 over 25. If I didn't see the 4 and I just did 2, excuse me, I would get 12 over 50. Okay? But then I could divide it again. Okay? Y entonces si yo estoy dividiendo entre 2, yo tengo 12 y entonces 50. Y yo puedo dividir este otra vez. Yo voy a encontrar este número. Okay? Y entonces yo voy a buscar el otro. Okay, now I'm going to look at the other. It says the word form, so I have 0.225. Erase that. And I'm going to just write it. 2, 2, 5. And you can write it on your place value chart. Remember that this is in your book. So tú puedes escribir a esta página porque recuerdas, esta página es en tu libro. ¿Ok? Y entonces es importante que tú estás usándolo. ¿Ok? So it's important you're using it. ¿Ok? Use your resources. So let's look here. 225, the 5 is in the thousands place. So I have 225 thousandths, milésimas, ¿ok? Porque yo tengo 225 centésimas, ¿ok? But I don't want to leave it like this because I can divide it. Yo necesito dividirlo, ¿ok? So I can divide it right here. It says 25. I could start with a much smaller number like 5, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it. When I divide it, I get 9/40. So this is one way of trying to figure out how to write a decimal as a fraction, okay? So now let's go ahead and try this. So first thing I want you to do is you need to read the problem and you need to underline and circle. It says Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge surrounding around, okay, the Kennedy Space Center is a sanctuary for green turtles, for tortugas, bald eagles, Florida panthers, and hundreds of other animals. Is there anything really important? ¿Hay cosas importantes en este? No. Okay, no, this is all background information. Este es información extra. Okay, y entonces ahora yo voy a buscar la otra oración. Okay, now I'm going to look at another sentence. About 0.625 of the total area of the refuge is water. What fraction of the total area is water? So now I see I have a decimal. Tengo un décima. But I want a fraction. Pero quiero una fracción. So now I'm going to think. Okay? So I want you first to think how you would write that in words, okay? Tú necesitas escribir este con palabras, okay? So I have 625. I want you to think about what this word would be. Pause the video and write what you think, okay? Necesitas pausar el video y necesitas escribir qué tú piensas, okay? If you said thousandths or milésimas, you were correct. So now I hear 625 thousandths, 625 milésimas. Okay? Remember, I go tenths, hundredths, thousandths, décimas, centésimas, milésimas. Okay? Now I'm going to write it. 625 thousandths, or milésimas. And now I'm going to look for something I can divide them both by. I see they both end in a 5 or a 0, so I can go ahead and I can divide those. Now for this part, if you're struggling with this, I'm okay with you checking on a calculator. So 1,000 divided by 5 gives me 200. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the other one. 625 divided by 5 equals 125. Oh look, I can divide them by 5 again. Okay, so 200 divided by 5 is going to give me 40. 125 divided by 5 is 25. Oh, look, I can divide them again. So that gave me 5/8. So I ran out of room. Okay. Now no hay un número que yo puedo dividir este y este entre. There's no number I can divide this and this by. So this is my answer. Okay. Now, what I would like for you to do is I want you to try this one. Remember that there's probably extra information. ¿Recuerdas? Probablemente hay información que no es importante. Y entonces necesitas leer el problema y necesitas tratarlo y tú puedes pasar el video y entonces tú necesitas tratar esto y entonces tú puedes mirar mi video otra vez, ¿ok? Si tú necesitas pausar, necesitas usar este aquí, ¿ok? ¿Ok? Y entonces tú puedes continuar. Ok, so it says Virginia, este es un estado en los Estados Unidos, it's a state in the United States, has a land and water area that is about 0.011 of the total area. What fraction of the total area of the United States does Virginia make up? So I'm taking this, which is the land and water, and I'm changing it to a fraction. Y entonces tengo un decimal y tengo que cambiar este a una fracción. Okay, so try that. Okay, remember to pause it, rewind if needed to see how to do it. So I have 0.011. So I think, okay, 0.011. 0.011. So I have 1/11 thousandths or 11 milésimas. Okay, 11 milésimas or 11 thousandths. So I start with that part and I'm going to write 11 thousandths. Be careful. That is not the same. No es lo mismo de this. That would be this. Okay? It's different. There's nothing I can divide them both by because 11 is a prime number. Okay? Recuerdas que yo no puedo dividir estos entre un número porque 11 es un número primo. Okay? That's one way. So if it is decimal, it's pretty easy to change it into a fraction. Si tengo un decimal, es un poco fácil si yo necesito cambiar este a una fracción. Pero a veces yo necesito cambiar una fracción a un decimal. But sometimes I have to change a fraction to a decimal. So let's go ahead and see how to do that. I'm going to erase this because there's so much information. Okay, now let's look at this one. It says write 3/4 as a decimal. Remember how if you have this, como este, okay, so if you have this, you're going to divide. And 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Y recuerdas, cuando tú tienes esta línea, tú vas a dividir. Y 20 entre 5 es igual a 4. Y si yo tengo 100, if I have 100, y 10 and 10, I would divide. Yo voy a dividir. 100 entre 10, or 100 divided by 10, equals 10. It's not different for a fraction. You're always going to divide. So here, this would just be this. Here, this one would simply be this, okay? This is the same thing with fractions. So this is just like we did before break. So write 3/4 as a decimal. So I don't want this part to mess you up. So go ahead and rewrite with me, okay? Tú vas a escribir conmigo. Yo voy a poner mi puento. Okay, I'm going to put my bridge. Puente, lo siento. So I'm going to put my bridge. I'm going to put a 3 here. The number on the top, that's going to go here. The number on the bottom is going to go there. 3 divided by 4. 4 times no number will go into 3, so I'm going to put a 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Now I subtract. But now I just have 0, and I don't want just 0, so I'm going to add a decimal and a 0, because 3.0 is the same as 3. 3.0 is igual a 3. Okay? 4 times what number will get me to 30 without going over? Yo puedo multiplicar 4 por 7. I can multiply 4 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Notice that I dropped the 0 like we were doing. Bring the 0 down. And I have 30 minus 28. Okay, so 7 times 4 is 28. That leaves me with 2. But I want to have 0 here, and I don't have 0. So I need to continue. Voy a continuar. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another 0. Because think of 3.00, 3.00. That's the same as like $3. Okay, it's the same as 3. I'm going to bring down my 0. Make sure you're taking notes. Es importante que tú estés escribiendo cuando yo estoy escribiendo. It's important that you are writing when I am writing. And then you can pause me. Tú puedes pausar. So if you have not been writing, you need to pause, rewind, and write with me. I'm going to bring down the 0. 4 times 5, 4 por 5, es igual a 20. That's equal to 20. Ahora tengo 0. Now I have 0, so I'm going to bring my decimal point up, and I get this is my number. So 3/4 is the same as 75/100. Okay? So now what I want you to do is you are going to try each of these. Okay, so you're going to use division. I'm going to do one with you, and then you're going to try the other ones, and then you're going to check your work. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. Yo voy a hacer un más contigo, y entonces tú necesitas pausar mi video, y necesitas continuar, necesitas tratar todos de los problemas, y entonces después de este, tú puedes mirar mi video. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. So I'm changing from each fraction as a decimal. So I'm changing that. So I put the 1, I draw my bridge, I put my 1 here and my 2 here. 2 times what will get me to 1? Well, that's going to be 0. So I'm going to put a decimal and a 0. 2 times what will get me to 10? 2 por cual número es igual a 10, o muy cerca de 10. 5. 5 times 2, 5 por 2, is equal to 10, es igual a 10. Y entonces yo tengo 0 y yo puedo parar. Okay, so I have a 0, so I can stop. I bring up my decimal. So my fraction is this. Esta es mi respuesta. Okay, you need to try the next one. Okay, so you need to go ahead and try the next one, and then play my video when you are ready. Okay, go ahead and unpause me when you're ready. So if you have unpaused me, you are ready to see how to do this one and to check your work. So I put the 3 and I put the 8. Okay, this top number, the numerator, always goes here. Okay, always goes under the bridge. 8 times blank is equal to 3. Well, that's going to be 0. So I put a decimal point and a 0. 8 times what number is really close to 30? 8 por cuál número es muy cerca a 30. Okay, y entonces este es 3. This is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 0 can't do, so I change the 0 to 10, because that's going to give me a negative. 10 minus 4 is 6. Uh-oh, I don't have 0, so I need to write another 0. Bring that down. 8 times what number is close to 60? Okay, well now I've got 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Remember, you can use your multiplication chart to help you. Okay, tú puedes usar la página de multiplicaciones de Está Bien. Okay, 5, 0 is 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. I still don't have 0, so I need to drop another 0. 8 times 5 gets me to 40. That gives me 0, so now I'm done. Yo puedo parar. I'm going to bring up my decimal. So here's my answer. So 3/8 equals 0.375 or 375 thousandths, ¿ok? So entonces, es importante que tú necesites continuar hasta tú tienes un 0 aquí, ¿ok? So right now, how'd you do on that one? Okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna move my work over. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna delete it because I'm gonna go like this. Kind of see my inner workings. I'm gonna move that over. Oh, I lost my 7. There we go. Let's look at this next one. You should have already tried it. These get a little trickier, so I'm gonna show you kind of some hints if you're struggling with the division. Okay, so I know this is going to be 0, right? So I put this. So I'm going to think 290, well, 290, I'm going to think of that like 29. Because porque hay un 0 aquí y un 0 aquí. Okay, because there's a 0 there and a 0 there, I'm going to look only at 29 and 4. Porque hay un 0 aquí y un 0 aquí, yo voy a buscar 29 y 4. 4 por cuál número es muy cerca a 29. 4 times what number is really close to 290? Well, that would be 29, excuse me, would be 7. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 por 7 es igual a 28. But I'm doing 40, so I have to add a 0. Y entonces yo necesito escribir en 0. Now I have this. 0, 1, 0. Okay, I need to add another 0. Bring it down. 40 times 2 would get me 80, so that's pretty close. Now I got 20, still not done. Necesito un otro 0, I need another 0. Now I have a 0 here and a 0 here. 4 times what will get me to 20? 4 por cuál número es muy cerca o va a igual 20, and that's 5. 5 times 4 is 20, and a 0, so that's 200. So now, I don't think it's going to let me do that. That's going to equal, little faces in the wall, there we go, is equal to 0. So I'm done. So this one equals 0 and 725 thousandths. Okay, easy. So one way is division. However, sometimes that takes a long time when I don't really have to do it that way. So let's go ahead and check our got it's. I want you to pause the video. Feel free and rewrite. Feel free and try it again. Okay, how to do using division, write 3/5 as a decimal. Okay, so necesitas pausar otra vez. You need to pause again. Necesitas parar el video. You need to stop the video. And you need to try the problem. Okay, tú necesitas tratar este problema primero y entonces tú puedes mirar mi explicación en este video. Okay, so you need to stop it and then you can watch again my explanation of the video. Okay, pause me, press play when you're ready. Cuando estás listo o lista, tú puedes mirar mi video otra vez. So I have 3/5, so I put 3 under the bridge and 5 outside. 5 times what? 5 por cuál número es muy cerca a 3, este es 0. Y entonces yo voy a escribir un punto 0. Y entonces 5 por cuál número es muy cerca a 30. 5 times what number is really close to 30 without going over? That's going to be 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract, and I bring up my decimal. So this is equal to 0.6, 0.6, or 6 tenths, 6 décimas, okay? But I don't always want to just divide. Sometimes I see 3/5 and I say, oh, I can do that a faster way. Okay, so it says, how can you write 3/5 as a decimal without using division? Sin división, without sin, okay? División, okay, division. So I have 3/5 as a decimal. So I'm going to write this. I'm going to use equivalent fractions. Voy a encontrar una fracción que es el mismo de 3 y 5. Okay? So I want something with a 1 and with at least 1 0 or maybe 2 or even 3. I want décimas, centésimas, milésimas, 10 milésimas, algo como esto aquí. Okay, I want 10, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, something like that here. Well, I see I can multiply by 2 and get 10. Okay, 5 times 2, whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Okay, yo voy a multiplicar 5 por 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do the top. So 3 times 2 is 6. Now I think, how do I read this? 6 tenths. 6 décimas. Esta es mi respuesta. Es un poco más rápido, pero tú no puedes hacer este por todos. Okay, this is a little faster, but you can't do this for all of them because some it doesn't work. Some fractions have decimal forms that repeat without end. Okay, and that's when you're going to either round. Okay, you're going to round, and sometimes we're going to repeat and repeat. So then I'll kind of show how to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this one. It says write 2/3 as a decimal, round to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to start this in. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. Okay, 3 times 6, 18. Oh no, I got 2 again. Oh no, I got 2 again. Notice, I'm going to keep getting 2 over and over and over again. So it just keeps going and going and going. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round that to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to look at the 6 here. Okay, yo necesito escribir mi flecha. I need to write my arrow. 6 es más grande que 5. 6 is 5 or higher. So the 6 is going to turn into a 7. So this is my answer right here. Okay, but I want to show another way. If the 6 continues to repeat, which is what it's going to do, it doesn't matter how many of these I drop. I will keep getting 6. It goes on and on. You're going to say 6 repeats. 6, I put a little line, necesitas escribir en línea. That means 6 repeats. If I had 0.3 like this, it goes 0.3333. If I had 0.45, it'd be 4 like this. It'd be 0.454545. Esta línea está diciéndome que yo necesitas repetirlo. Okay, this is telling me that I need to repeat it. So let's go ahead and use that to try this next one. Okay, so we can see we kind of have this little problem right here. It says the average depth of Lake Michigan, the second largest Great Lake, is about 4/7 of the average depth. Write 4/7 as a decimal. Okay, necesitas escribir esta fracción como un decimal. So I need to divide. Necesito dividir. Yo voy a escribir mi puente. Yo voy a escribir 4 y 7. I'm going to draw my bridge. I'm going to write 4 and 7. 7 times 0 is going to get me as close to 4 without going over. Necesito escribir punto cero. I need to write 0.0. 7 times 5 is as close as I can get. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 por 5 es igual a 35. Y ahora yo tengo 5. 0 otra vez. I'm going to do 7. 7 times 7 is 49. That's going to give me 1. Drop another 0. And it says round to the nearest hundredth. So this is the last place value I need to do. So that's going to give me 1. And it keeps going, right? But it says due to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to put 7 and an arrow. 1 is less than 5. 1 es menos que 5. Y entonces 7 va a quedar lo mismo. 5. Y ahora yo tengo B.